Hello, BookTube. This is Alan. Welcome to my channel. Today I had to work, but I was able to watch the celebration. Well, it's just President Putin laid the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Red Square. Today marks the end of the Great Patriotic War. It was very moving ceremony. Even if Putin was the only one there, along with some soldiers, along with the military band. Later on, they had a flyover with helicopters, jets. It's a beautiful sight. And also, they had fireworks, a lot of fireworks going on. Unfortunately, the people that there in Russia could not join in because of this pandemic. Hopefully, go away so they can celebrate the end of the 75th anniversary of the end of the Great Patriotic War. There was a lot of things planned, but the virus took effect. So I'm going to be reading from the literary life that I had got the other day from December 1901 issue, and this was Faith in Books, and May is for Magazines. So last night I read The Typical American Genius about Ella Wheeler Wilcox. And so today I'll read another section in here. And let's turn to it. See how long this one is. Yeah, this was, I might leave this off. I was going to read the Orson Irving's descriptions of an English Christmas, but I think I'll read a couple of short ones here instead. And save that one for later. There's something interesting I was looking at last night. I was going through this and looking at another BookTube channel. This is an interesting one. There's a history of the Jesuits in England, the title of a volume which will be issued by J.P. Lippincott Company in substantial bindings. The author is E.L. Taunton, Taunton. The period it covers is from 1580 to 1773. I wonder if that's still available in print. There was one that I saw here. See if I can find it. Oh, here's an interesting one. The 12th Night has just been added to the Berarium edition of Shakespeare's plays prepared by Dr. Horace Howard Furness for Lippincott. The text is supplemented in the usual way with exhaustive notes, collative readings, discussion of the plot and composition, and bibliography and index, which characterize the other volumes. See what? Oh, this is interesting. The W.R. Morrill, the distinguished historian and authority of Russian history, has just completed a history of Russia from Peter the Great to Alexander II, founded on the study of original documents, and though necessary brief, it promised to be the most comprehensive narrative in existence. Considerable attention has been paid to the social and literary development of the country and the recent expansion of Russia in Asia. And here it is, right here. It is said that the dramatization of Gerald Lew Wallace's great novel, Ben-Hur, has given the book a new lease on life, and is up to this time the publishers have disposed of nearly 725,000 copies. The play is to be produced at the Drury-Lane Theatre, London, after the annual pantomime has had its run. So it's Ben-Hur. King Oscar of Sweden has translated the amusing novel St. Peter's Umbrella into Swedish. This is a great compliment to the author, Kanan Mishkizat. He is said to be the most popular of all Magyar novelists. So I see. So there's a little bit, little essays here that I get with the reviews and the writers of the day that I came across. Oh, here we are. 2 essays, and I'll read these, and that'll be all for today. On the general art of being disagreeable. As some people are never happy unless they are miserable, so others are never happy unless they are making others unhappy. Some again are disagreeable from a lack of thought. Take it, for instance, in the matter of letter writing. Those of this latter description set down and write according to the mood of the moment, without thinking what the effect of what they are writing may be upon the recipient. They dip their pen in their piquing, Pique, or in their anger or in their disappointment. All this class needs to be reminded of the advice given by the famous Irish lawyer to a client of his who was about to write something foolish. Write nothing, said the wise counsel. Writing is a device of the devil to get gentlemen in trouble. The writer of this article is himself an author, and has wide experience with the authors, nor is he lacking in sympathy with them, and their hopes and disappointments. Hence he writes as a brother to brothers and sisters. It is a great mistake to write a saucy and offensive letter to anybody, especially to a publisher, for it is more than likely that the person thus addressed will respond in kind and in more biting terms, so that the bidder will be bitten. Probably if a publisher has been addressed in this way, he will not put a restraint upon himself for various reasons. Nevertheless, if he has been accused of being a liar and a swindler, he will not think the more kindly of his accuser, nor will he exert himself more ardently on his behalf. As for the future, of course, there will be no more books except in that quarter. Moreover, this reputation will most likely be handled around so that the writer will receive a cold welcome wherever he may apply. It is proper that the correspondence of authors and publishers would be frank and plain. This is entirely consistent with courtesy. If a book does not go, if the royal statements are not satisfactory, if the public will have the poor taste not to buy, why blame the publisher? He has as much disappointment as the author. His pecuniary losses are as heavy. He has undoubtedly exerted himself to place and sell the edition. To write a letter to him, sanded with red pepper, to abuse him may be a relief to the author's feelings, but only convinces the publisher that this particular author is a blackguard or a Xanthite, according to sex. Authors, like other people, lose nothing, but observing the ordinary courtesies which mark the intercourse of ladies and gentlemen. What is interesting about this little magazine is that they, a lot of times, will have something like I just read, but they won't tell you who it was written by. They're on the book reviews. They will tell you who excuse me, who did the book reviews. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water here before I continue on. Longer articles, like I read last night, they do have a person who wrote the article, but on the shorter ones, they don't. This is on the apprenticeship of letters. One of the serious faults of this age is a lack of preparation and of excuse me. Let me start over. One of the serious faults of this age is the lack of preparation, like I'm having now with this essay, and consequently of thoroughness. This affects all departments of labor, from the unskilled up to the so-called skilled workman, and pervades business like a dry rot. Those who are employers are constantly eliminating the lack of training on the part of their employees. Many of those who fill the humblest positions, as well as many of those who seek the higher ones, are fatally defective in the fundamental knowledge of what is required to be done and the best and most successful way of doing it. This is one reason why so few employees get on. They have never mapped down any plan nor worked consistently towards an object. They live from hand to mouth, out of a job today and one tomorrow, and out again the day after. All this is true of literature. The market is full of tyros. That's Tyros, tyros. Some of these can hardly write grammatically and are as poor spellers as our grandmothers who never had any opportunity. Diamonds in the rough are in demand at Amsterdam, where they aren't round, but they are worthless in the jeweler's window or for decorative purposes. Thoughts in the rough are in the same category. As young writers could be persuaded to burn as fast as they write, their productions would give them more light to the world than they would any other way. Well, if that person who wrote this article was alive today, he'd be especially some of these can hardly write grammatically and are as poor spellers. A lot of books are like that. Well, that's it for today, and from Literary Life, I thank you, BookTube, for tuning in. Like, comment if you wish, subscribe, and take care.